Well, we've seen the Florida Modifieds with Travis Eddy picking up his 5th World Series win, and now the Tour-Type Modifieds hit the racetrack. 50 laps, tonight's scheduled distance, first event in 2019 for them here at the World Series, and there's a look at our starting lineup, starting straight up off of qualifying.
Probably helps if I unmute that. Patrick Emmerling will roll off on the P1 spot. Doug Colby will follow him on the outside of row number 1. Inside row number 2, the natural, Timmy Salamudo with the professor. How about that row number 2 with Chuck Hosfeld in the 22.
Anthony Nocella starts on the inside of row number 3. Matt Hirschman starts on the outside, the champion of the World Series here a year ago for the Tour-Type Modifieds. Jimmy Blewett and Dylan Stoyer make up row number 4.
Ryan Preece will roll off in the 9th spot and marching his way to the front. In 10th is Tommy Catalano in 11th. Amy Catalano in row number 6. And starting alongside Amy will be Andy Jane Kowiak in the 12X.
Starting 13th, the 32 of Tyler Ripkema. Jimmy Zacharias starting on the outside of row number 7. Jeffrey Goodale in the 46 starts alongside Calvin Carroll in row number 8.
17th will be Jeff Gallup in the 4 machine with Mike Willis Jr. Starting 19th to 55, Jeremy Gerstner with Nikki Carroll in the 25N. Then it is Chris Ridsdale and Dean Ripkema in the 22nd shotgun on the field.
Looked like we saw Tommy Catalano come down pit road, scheduled to start this race in the 10th position, made the one lap around and pulled down into the pits. Did the 54 car, so they go to work on it as you see him come by our speed shot. Gives us a great view, and you'll see them rumble the ground as they go down the straightaway under speed here in just a little bit as they go to work underneath the air cleaner. Some carburetor issues maybe on the 54.
I think Josh Berry should hop down off the wall and possibly help him out maybe over there. He's just sitting there spectating.
He's taking a look. As the Catalano team goes to work after a good qualifying run for Tommy earlier today. 50 laps. It's a big one. It's not just a normal 35-lap feature. We see a couple of those this week for the Tour-Type Modifieds. Tonight, though, a 50-lapper, 76-lapper for the John Blewett Memorial on Wednesday night, 100-lapper for the Richie Evans Memorial on Friday night. These Tour-Type Modifieds put on a great show night in and night out when they're here at the World Series. Just a couple of years ago, they shortened down the Tour-Type Modified week. It used to start on Friday night like everyone else and go all the way for like 7 or 8 nights. They dropped that back, and that's part of the reason for the big addition as well to the car count. See the 2 car right now heading around the racetrack as we head down into the pits for a report on the 2. They didn't go. So there's the 2 making its way. We had a report from the pits as the 2 of Doug Colby makes his way around the racetrack. Going to get some speed, some heat in the tires before we go to an official green flag. Casey LaJoy and Adam Mackey on the broadcast tonight. Going to have Bob Dillner with some reports on these Tour-Type Modifieds throughout the course of the race. You see the fastest 2 from qualifying, Patrick Emmerling and Doug Colby, rolling around the racetrack. And they'll be bringing the field to green. Again, the inverts can be anywhere between a 0 and an 8. And tonight, fortunately for the fast qualifiers, it was a 0 once again. Flagman giving him a 1 to go signal, meaning 1 more lap of hot laps, not 1 lap until the green. As Emmerling has been fast qualifier 3 times in a row. As we get ready, again, we'll try to see what the report is on the 2 Doug Colby machine. Back to the pits with Bob Dillner. Bob?
Jimmy Blewett really excited to be here, guys. This deal came together with the Petruccio family, just a little over a month ago. And the Petruccios and the Blewetts, very famous around the modified community. The Blewett family dates back to John Blewett Jr. and his battles with Richie Evans for the National Modified Crown years ago. He is from a pedigree that is all about modified racing. So to match them with the Petruccios, who are very famous around the Long Island area. In fact, they won a modified crown at Riverhead Raceway many years ago with Don Howe. It's kind of like a match made in heaven. Jimmy is really excited to be here. They believe with this car they can win here. Remember, Bertuccio actually won here, was it last year or the year before? So this team could be a force to be reckoned with for the championship this year.
50 laps of green. Emmerling in the 07. Kobe in the 2. The 16 of Solomito, the 22 of Asphalt, ready for green. Turn number 4, 50 laps for you fans on fanschoice.tv. For those packing the stands here at New Smyrna Speedway tonight, already looking 3 wide with Solomito, and off the pace, Cup driver Ryan Priest. Problems for the many-time champion of racing and winner here at New Smyrna Speedway. We stay green down the backstretch.
Side-by-side drag race into turn number 3. Doug Kobe with the advantage out of turn number 4. He will lead lap 1. Emmerling back to second. Look at Chuck Asphalt on the move on the outside.
Asphalt looks to the outside, and it looks like that outside lane the place to be on restarts and starts for the Tour Type Modifieds, just as we've seen in our other divisions so far this week. The leader, Kobe. That's the battle for second, third, on back, and dropping into line goes Asphalt, and Hirschman right behind him, last year's champion.
These guys quickly single file out, get in line, and start to size up their other competitors. You see Timmy Solomito all over the back bumper of Matt Hirschman. That is the battle for the 4th position, 4th and 5th right there on your screen. Emmerling holding down second as Kobe beginning to open up the lead.
Great shots as they fly by the front straightaway. Single file, nose to tail right now. The 16 of Solomito takes a look to the inside. There's the 2 of Blewett running in the 6th position. Some fast race cars for the first night. And you'll see maybe an additional few come in for the big shows on Wednesday and Friday as well. But it's already an outstanding field here at the 53rd running of the World Series.
Yeah, we heard Bob talk about it earlier before the race started about Jimmy Blewett in that 2 car and how they could be a threat for this championship and for wins. They were very fast at Bronson last weekend, and he said he's very excited about this matchup with him and Bertuccio, and obviously they've had speed right out of the gate, so Showtime definitely going to be a part of the show here this year.
In this class, one thing you'll notice a little different than some of the other divisions, the aerodynamics and the speeds that they turn around this racetrack. Draft actually comes into play. They can really suck up on the car right in front of them in the air, and it just makes such a big difference, and you'll notice that during the course of our coverage this week. The leader, the 2, Doug Kobe. He leads. He has, coming across the line this time, a half-second lead over second-place Patrick Emmerling.
I think he's starting to break that draft a little bit, but not a lot. Timmy Solomito off the pace down the back straightaway. He might have some sort of problem as he starts to fall loose spot after spot. Now he goes around. Right rear tire down on the 16 machine.
One of our front starters, second row starter. This race, third fast qualifier, Solomito, has gone around, right rear tire down, and it brings out our first yellow flag of the week for the Tour Type Modifieds. Heading to the pits, the 16 of Timmy Solomito.
Not sure if maybe made contact with another driver, if he hit the wall, or if it was just a tire failure. They're going to go on pit road, change that right rear tire out. The crew goes to work. Luckily, caution laps don't count for the natural Timmy Solomito, as we have completed 7 laps, but he is going to lose a lot of track position. Was running up in the 5th position, and now he will have to drive all the way back to 24th as everybody, well, actually it'd be about 20th, as the rest are about a lap down after that.
Solomito, a 9-time winner of NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour races. 3 straight top 5 in points right here at the World Series as Solomito takes it away from pit road. As we have given the 1 to go signal. Lights are off on the pace car. And we're set for a restart. 7 down, 43 to go. Kobe is the leader in the 2. As you see that right rear tire that has come off the 16 of Solomito.
Definitely a little bit of rim damage on that machine as the field coming off turn number 4 to the green flag. 7 laps completed, 43 to go.
Outside lane, place to be on the opening start. Will it be again? Into the corner, side by side, wheel to wheel, off of turn 2. Hirschman is right there on the rear bumper as they go down the backstretch.
Emmerling fighting back on the inside. Big money, Matt Hirschman in this battle as well. Doug Kobe going to shoot out with the lead here once again on lap number 8. Emmerling settles for the 2nd spot. Hirschman in 3rd, and the side-by-side just behind him for 4th.
Oh, and there's some contact and even more. Asphalt hangs on to it. Nocella in the 92 having a strong run. Nearly disastrous, though, coming off of turn 2.
Asphalt in a different looking machine. We're used to seeing him in the all-black machine with flames down it. They decided to paint that car red, and it's been faster than ever. He did pick up the win at Bronson last weekend. Had a really, really fast hot rod.
Jeff Goodale started deep in the field 15th. He's picked up some spots in that 46 up into the top 10. Behind him, Ripkema in the 32. Jankowiak in the 12, also on the outside lane. Here comes the 83 of Mike Willis Jr. with a good run off of 2.
He will slot in behind Jankowiak. Ripkema will fall in line as well. You see sparks flying from the right front rotor, and Doug Kobe still leading out front.
Yeah, Kobe's got a strong race car, and we haven't seen him much at the World Series. One start in World Series history, and it was kind of a shakedown race to get him ready for the battle at the beach over at Daytona just a few years ago. But he is strong here tonight, no question, as now we go back to Big Money Matt, the 60 of Matt Hirschman, followed by the 2 of Blewett.
He's starting to feel the heat from that 2 machine of Jimmy Blewett. Here comes the 22 of Chuck Hosfield as well, as they all run single file, begin to funnel down for that 3rd position as Emmerling has opened up a lead over Hirschman.
Racing through 1 and 2, Hirschman in the 60 in the 3rd spot. 4th place, Blewett. There's the 2 of Kobe leading the race. You see a lot of shuffling back and forth sometimes in these races where a driver might just kind of settle down early on, not wanting to use up all the equipment, especially in a 50 lapper, a 35 lapper. They go for broke right away.
Yeah, absolutely. 50 laps is still a long way, and these cars have a wide tire, so they're very important. They make up a big part of this race car. Jankowiak going to slide up here just a little bit. Will the 83 machine of Mike Willis Jr. make the move? They stay single file for the moment.
And now the 83 of Willis ready to make the next move on Jankowiak, but behind them it's Ripkema in the 32. 55, we go back to a 4-car battle as we watch the 6 of Priest making its way back out on the racetrack, trying to come through the field. Of course, Priest, at this point of the race, not on the lead lap, showing 2 laps down, is the 6.
Maybe catch a couple cautions in the right spot. He'll be right back in this thing. The car seems to be rather quick, but I don't know what happened in the beginning of the race. Definitely put him behind the 8-ball. 17 laps complete here at the line.
6 of Priest running the top side right in front of the 4 of Gallup. The 4 of Gallup and the 16 of Solomito now in a battle. That's for the 14th position. Ripkema off the pace.
Looks like out of power on the 32 of Ripkema. No power. Doesn't look like you got a flat tire on that machine, but we keep racing. Green flag still in the air, and Kobe's still your leader.
Tyler Ripkema off the pace. We've had some big names, drivers that we've seen run well here at the World Series the last few years have issues as he brings it down pit road in the 32 car.
It's under power. You saw the fumes coming out of the exhaust, but obviously some sort of mechanical issue for that 32 machine. There you're looking at the battle for the 8th position, Dylan Stewart and Jeffrey Goodale. And now here comes Ryan Priest. Even though still a lap down, he's going to make his way through the field.
A couple laps off the pace by timing and scoring is Ryan Priest as he slowed right away on the opening start. Makes a move. Once again coming through the field. At least getting racy, but still has to be a little bit patient as well, as he knows at this point he's 2 laps off the pace behind Jankowiak. You see Stoyer in the 11. Goodale in the 46. Nose to tail, they race down the front straightaway. Closing on the halfway mark already. These laps go by in a hurry with these fast race cars.
Yes, they do. And Goodale trying to find a way around Stoyer in that 11 machine. Priest going to come break up the party. He's not wasting any time. Maybe he can unlap himself.
Definitely making some headway in a very fast race car. Even though he's racing lead lap cars not on the lead lap right now, working right behind Stoyer, who is in the 8th spot. There's Ripkema's 32 as they still work on that car, and the field is slowed. At the same time, a yellow flag waves again, and this looks like will be the end of the night for Tyler Ripkema in the 32. The leader, Doug Kobe, in the 2 car, leading the way, and it's one of the Carroll machines. The 25 is going around.
I believe that is Calvin. Looking across the top of the car, it does look like Calvin Carroll. There's Nikki and Calvin, both have the number 25.
Car does make its way down into the pit area, comes to a stop as the Carroll machine will See some liquid on the race car, and the crew feeling it, smelling it, tasting it, whatever, to determine what that liquid is. As we actually saw Bubba Pollard sneak by in our shot as the super late models start to line up and get ready to go, and he'll be bringing the field to green in the super late model race to end our night in a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see that as well. Bubba didn't have the best first night here at the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. We'll see if he can regain a little bit of composure and finish off race number 2 for him of the week.
Checking the stagger on the Calvin Carroll 25 car after the spin. As Carroll measure that right rear tire, go around to the left rear, see if it's got the right amount of stagger for this race team. Cleaning off the front window area for Carroll as we're going to send it down to the pits. And, we had some problems for Ryan Preece, and Bob Dillner has more info on that, Bob.
Well, Ryan Preece came down pit road, and I talked to the team down there, and they said that the car got stuck in gear, so they basically got it in high gear, and that's where it's stuck right now. So interesting, might be a little bit interesting for Ryan Preece. They had trouble with that transmission on the initial start of the race, and that's what was going on with the 6 car.
Now there you have it, Ryan Preece, a tough start to his week here at the World Series. Solomito, same can be said for him. We've seen him spit out. Lost the right rear tire, and now they're making some adjustments on the setup of that race car. You got the air tank in hand, air pressure gauge in hand, seeing if they can make this car handle a little better, adjusting something on the right front there. The 16 Timmy Solomito machine. 22 complete, 28 laps to go. A couple of yellow flags slowing the pace here early on. Kobe has had them covered so far. He's been very strong, and so far, the number 2 car, making just his second ever World Series start, has led every lap.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if Kobe is really that good or if some of these guys are holding back. We know that Hirschman always saves his stuff till the very end and waits to make that move. Emmerling really hasn't let Kobe get out too far away. He's kind of kept him right in his sights. You see Bob Dillner right up in the action trying to figure out what's going on down there with the Solomito machine, as they still try to figure out what is wrong, and looks like they're going to send him on his way for the moment.
Solomito back away from his pit stall after some adjustments and get him back out on the racetrack. He was running 14th whenever that yellow flag came out, about 3 cars behind him on the lead lap. So Kobe, Emmerling, Hirschman, Blewett, and Hosfeld are top 5.
Names in the top 5.
Yeah, pretty solid. You see Catalano back in the pits.
Still working on the air cleaner. They had it off pre-race, and looks like they probably just got it back on after taking it off once again. His window net is down, so that might not be a good sign for the Tommy Catalano machine. Helmet's still on, though.
Yeah, he was on the lead lap despite that stop before the race in the 15th position when this most recent yellow came out, as the buggy's been busy tonight out there cleaning up some spills on the racetrack.
Definitely making his money tonight. They've been putting down speedy drive, fixing all sorts of problems and incidents on the racetrack. Even the banners took a hit right there on the front straightaway on the inside wall. Haley Deegan kind of cleaned them out for us.
Yeah, hardest hit we've seen so far in competition this weekend. I guess I'd say this race week. 9 nights of action. This is just the second we've been able to get in out of the first 4 with issues on Saturday and Sunday. As we're going to send it back down for another report. 16 is Solomito in his pit stall, Bob.
Timmy Solomito on pit road, and this team has had a tough time of it. They're changing the right rear tire once again. They initially had a right rear flat on this machine, and then they put another right rear. When he went back out there, the car was just wicked loose. And basically, listening to the team, they said they had way too much stagger. That tire was a little bit larger than the other one that they took off. So the one that they just put on was actually a right front tire that they had as a spare. So they made a sway bar adjustment on that 16 as well. They're hoping to tighten up that car, and hopefully Timmy can come through the field.
Yeah, when you're one of the last cars on the lead lap, no reason to stay out there and try to fight an ill-handling race car, especially after a spin. 22 of 50 complete. We've gone double wide. The field line backed up. Caution lights are still on. Doesn't look like we'll be coming to green quite yet, but we're getting close.
Andy Jankowiak parked the beginning of pit road, and looks like he's getting a talking to from Ricky Brooks Sometimes they'll bring drivers down if they think they're leaking oil or some sort of fluid. Maybe what that's about, and we'll see if he is. He's being parking in his pit stall, so he might be the one that is reporting. We're going to send it down to Bob Dillner.
Tommy Catalanos, we're about to go green. What happened? What put you out of the race?
I think we had a pretty good car. We finally got it figured out. We had a line get a little too low and cut a hole in it. So we're done for the day, but hopefully we'll have it fixed for tomorrow.
Definitely a bad day for him, and you can see some fluid underneath this race car here, underneath his number 54 on the racetrack.
Here comes Kobe, and here comes Emmerling, ready for a restart. Just 3 laps short of the halfway mark for the first Tour Type Modified race of the week. The 53rd running the World Series at New Smyrna Speedway, and we're back underway. A little bit of the speedy dry kicked up as Doug Kobe shoots back out front.
Top 4 fall in line just as normal. Emmerling into second. Hirschman settles in third, and Blewett, then Hosfeld is your top 5. Good battling just behind him. Here comes the 92 machine of Andy Nocella, going to break his way into the top 5.
Yeah, Nocella's been strong. The 92 has gotten around the 22 of Chuck Hosfeld. If you can pass Hosfeld here, you've got a pretty good race car. That 92's on the move. We saw those two get together early in this race with Nocella behind Hosfeld. See if he kind of returns the favor, lets him know he's back there.
You know, drivers never forget anything, so I'm pretty sure Hosfeld put that in the back of his mind, and the closer we get to lap 50, we might see that come back out.
Stoyer in the 11, running in the 7th position, the 83, and now we look back behind him, one off the pace. It's the 64 of Amy Catalano.
She's slow, going to lose a lot of track position as drivers passing her on the outside. There goes the 4 of Jeff Gallup as we move back up towards the front with Mike Willis Jr.
Again, the battle for 7th. Stoyer in the 11, Willis in the 83. Both pretty good race cars. Up the banking, bumping tires a little bit. And across the line, Stoyer holds on to the 7th spot, but Willis wants to take it away.
Nerf bar to Nerf bar. Down the back straightaway. Good power out of turn number 2 for Mike Willis Jr. He will take that 7th spot away as we continue on. Going to be lap 27 here at the stripe.
12 of Jankowiak has fallen out of the event because of oil blowing out of the breather, so some issues there for their first night. The 55 on the low lane. Gerstner making a move from toward the back of the field. He started 19th, and he's in the top 10 right now, racing for the 10th spot.
Good run for Jeremy Gerstner. He's really been patient working his way up through the field, now trying to work on Stoyer. And just ahead of him, Jeff Goodale. He says on the top of the car, it says the other Goodale.
And he's been pretty good in this race as well. He started back at the 15th spot. Goodale's up to the 8th position the last time by the line. As you see Stoyer fading a little bit now, running up and around the 7th position for much of this race. But right now, Stoyer's fallen to 11th.
Just north of 20 laps to go. 21 going to be 20 laps to go this time. Doug Kobe still out front. You're looking at great battle here with Jeremy Gerstner. He just worked by Timmy Solomito and Stoyer moving back up. It's the 92, and Nocella still marching his way to the front.
Hey, Nocella's now setting up a run for Jimmy Blewett for the 4th position. This 92 car, very serious and making himself a contender here on night 1. Nocella looking to the low side, coming down the front stretch with 19 to go.
I love the old school look it's got going on in this 92 machine. Tell you what, you look at 2 of those race cars, you think you're watching a race in the 90s.
Does no wrap for those guys. They've stickered those cars up, and right now they're fast race cars in the 4th and 5th spot. Blewett and Nocella, as we see the leaders, the top 5 and 10 now fly by the line.
Look at the speed they're going down the front straightaway. Jimmy Blewett still hanging on to this 4th spot. Nocella all over the back bumper. Got to wonder how long till he brings out the big chrome horn. Well, I guess it's a red horn.
That it is, and right now he hasn't had to use it as he's been pretty solid to get up into the top 5. From his 5th starting position, the 60 of Hirschman. Following relatively closely through the corners, the 07 of Emmerling. That car, that 60 of Hirschman, just handles so well through the middle of the turn. It rotates the corners well, just like it did a year ago here at the World Series.
And these top 3 right here, right on top of each other. Even though Emmerling has slid back from Doug Kobe a little bit, they're still relatively close. They're all on the same straightaway. But right now it looks like Big Money Matt trying to make his move, get into second. It's not going to be easy pass on Emmerling.
Yeah, Emmerling not quite as strong through the corners, but he gets down the straightaway as well. This time the momentum was on the favor of the 60 of Hirschman, but you can see Emmerling just pulls him down the straightaway.
You wonder if he's going to try to maybe use that top side. We saw it work with the Florida modifieds. I know two completely different modifieds, but they were able to make that outside lane work. And now that Big Money Man has started pressuring Emmerling, they've started to reel in Doug Colby a little bit for the lead.
Second and third, Emmerling and Hirschman. Hirschman usually comes on late in the race. You notice he saves his stuff, and he's always good toward the end. As we are going to send it back down to the pits once again, Bob Dillner has a report on Patrick Emmerling.
Guys, I just talked to the 017 for Patrick Emmerling, and they told me they just told Patrick, turn up the wig, baby. If you got it, go for it right now. He thinks the car is really good, but honestly, he doesn't believe he has anything for the car in front of him, Doug Colby, so it might be just a matter of a good-feeling race car, but just not enough mojo to get the job done here tonight.
Hirschman right now following closely with Emmerling. And you saw it. It looked like he was able to close the gap a little bit on Colby. But, of course, Colby, he doesn't want to get too far ahead and burn his stuff off in case they do have a yellow. Best run so far for Big Money Matt in the 60 to the inside of Emmerling.
And they made a little bit of contact down the back straightaway. Hirschman with a wheel to the inside of Emmerling. Emmerling not giving him a whole lot of room. Nerf bar to Nerf bar down the front straightaway. 10 laps to go.
Back in line goes Hirschman, gets a good run coming off a 2. Oh, and he got it just free as he pulled up to the door area of the 07 of Emmerling. Hirschman thought he had the run, and then he lost the forward bike.
That was going to be the move right there. He had a big run. If he could have made it stick, he probably would have been able to clear Emmerling before they even got to turn 3, but now pulls back in line. That just allows Doug Colby to get out even farther.
This time, 8 laps to go. We're down to the final stages of this 50-lapper opening night for the Tour Type Modifieds, and there's the leader, the number 2 car of Doug Colby. Leads over Emmerling, Hirschman, Blewett, Nocella, Asphalt just outside the top 5. Willis, great run from the back of the field. That 83 car started 18th, and it's up to 7th. Gerstner running 8th, Solomito running 9th, and Goodale running 10th. Is here again, Hirschman making a run for 2nd.
Yeah, Hirschman able to get there on the exit of the corner, but Emmerling doesn't leave him a whole lot of room down there. He's got to be very careful. These two can make contact. It could spell trouble for both of them. Right now, Emmerling still holding down the 2nd spot.
As we've seen some good cars in this race fall by the wayside. The 6 of Priest came back out, but car got stuck in gear on the opening laps, had to make a pit stop, put him a couple laps down. And you know, if he didn't have that issue, he'd be up there battling with these guys because he's raced all the way back through the field.
Going to be 5 laps remaining. There's your leader in the bottom left corner of your screen. Doug Colby has been dominant so far all night. He's got 5 more laps to close it out.
Tour Type Modifieds on this Monday evening on fanschoice.tv, and we'll have all of the live action throughout the week, all the way through Saturday night, championship night here at the track, as we're nose to tail for 2nd. Upper right of the screen, Emmerling hanging on to 2nd.
Yeah, it just depends on when Hirschman can hit the corner. When he hits it, he pulls right to the back bumper, but can't make anything happen. They make a little contact out of the corner, but that just kills all of Hirschman's momentum.
Down to the final 3 laps now. Colby definitely does not want to see a yellow. He has built up now a very solid lead on 2nd and 3rd. A 2.5 seconds right now, the advantage over Emmerling.
Well, he came down here to really work on their program. They said they didn't do too hot last year. They really wanted to come here to Speed Weeks and focus on making this race car better. And with 2 laps to go, dominating the race so far, I think they've done that just well.
Oh, it seems like they've got it running well. You think they'll just go back home now? They've got the car figured out?
Go ahead and load her up. We're good.
I think they're going to go for some more wins this week. The big ones coming up later this week with the 76 Wednesday and the 100 lapper on Friday. As 2 to go signal turns into white flag. 1 more lap to go for Doug Colby. The battle for 2nd continues between Emmerling and Hirschman as they race down the backstretch. As they go into turn 3, the leader, Doug Colby, goes into turn 4, and as he exits turn 4 in just his 2nd World Series starts, Colby wins at New Smyrna. 2nd place, Patrick Emmerling. Hirschman in 3rd. Blewett takes 4th. Nocella crosses the line in 5th. Asphalt, Solomito, Willis, Gerstner, and Goodale, the top 10. Doug Colby in the 2 car claims the victory, and he does so tonight in definite, convincing style.
Yeah, and I wish Priest would have been in contention there. We would have seen what he had. But Colby, class of the field here this evening, and impressive runs by Nocella, Blewett, Hirschman, Emmerling, all really good runs. Calvin Carroll with 11th, Jeffrey Goodale 10th. But here in a second, we're going to be talking to your winner, Doug Kobe, in New Smyrna Victory Lane.
Kobe's first win, of course, and just his second start. 62nd different tour winner in the history of Speed Weeks. As Kobe takes the helmet off, not even a smile on his face. He's won so much, it just becomes normalcy, right? There's a little bit of a smile. Now he's pretty happy. The veteran driver ready to climb out with victory as we get ready to send it down to Victory Lane. Bob Dillner will be with Doug Kobe. Bob?
Phil Moran down here, everybody from the Doug Kobe team. He climbs out victorious and only his second start here at New Smyrna Speedway. Doug Kobe waving the checkered flag here. Congratulations to him. Kobe, you came down here in 2014. They had the big Daytona race. You ran one event, but to come back here and get a win. You got 5 championships, but a win here at New Smyrna. What does it mean to you?
That's awesome. This is like a brand new track for me. I don't have any experience here, and these guys have been running here for some of these guys 10, 12 years, 5 nights a week. They got 80, 90 races on me, and it helps to have a great prepared car by Phil Moran and all the guys on the Mayhew Tools team. We got a very small crew here this week. I know a lot of you guys back at home watching, and we got one. We got to get 5, but Phil, this is my crew right here. We got Phil, Bob, Steven, and Nick, and me. And that's pretty much it. And we got Greg up on the radio. He's down here on vacation and hopped on the radio for us. So great to start off with a win. And we worked really hard on Thursday to come up with some changes. And we left them in the car to see how they would race. And they raced pretty darn good. So we're going to try some more stuff. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to test. Want to win races, but we're here to test for the tour season. And got to come after Justin Bonsignore. Coming for you.
Justin Bonsignore, better beware for sure.
He's going to be on Twitter right now. Oh, yeah.
He's going to be talking smack. But, hey, what was the difference between you and Emmerling or Hirschman, you think, tonight?
I think if Matt could have got by Emmerling, you can't trust Matt because he saves so much, and I think it would have been right there. I'm glad a caution didn't come out. I had a really strong car. Even at the end of the race, I was laying down some pretty good laps, but you never know with cautions, you know what I mean? And took the outside lane because I watched Fans' Choice last year and saw that the outside lane's the place to be on the restarts, and just worked out. Patrick ran me like a gentleman, and it's night one. None of us want to wreck these cars on the first night.
Doug Kobe, winner here at New Smyrna Speedway. And by the way, we're going to come over here real quick. We're going to get Phil Moran over here. All right, what do you think? Come down to New Smyrna. This kid only had been here one other time. Phil, what do you think about him winding up with your car in Victory Lane?
I don't care what racetrack it is. Doug Kobe can get it done. We came down here to try some stuff, and so far so good.
R&D has certainly worked. We'll see what they're able to do the rest of the week, boys.
Well, I think he's one of the favorites now, at least. I think he was a favorite coming in, even though he had a lack of experience here at this half mile. It didn't seem to matter. That 2-car was rocket fast tonight. Doug Kobe claims the win here at New Smyrna on what is night number 4. Hopefully we get to see a lot more great Tour-type modified racing throughout the week. We're not done racing tonight.
No.
We've got super late models coming up.
Bubba Pollard going to lead us to the green flag.
Yeah. Going to be entertaining. Good field of super late models. We've added several more from the field we had the other night. As we get ready to go back down, second place finisher Patrick Emmerling is with Bob Dillner.
Patrick Emmerling come up a little bit short here tonight. Where do the two have you beat?
He was just a little bit better than me. This is our first time out, brand new race car. We had 10 laps of practice. To come out here, rip the pole against these guys, and finish second to a 5-time NASCAR mod champion, then that's not a horrible day for us. So, like I said, first time out with this setup, so, I'm pretty stoked that we were that fast right out of the get. So we're just going to, tweak on it a little bit and get it a little bit better during the week here.
Patrick Emmerling, one ROC boy in second, another ROC boy in the third spot. Matt Hirschman, looked like you were coming at the end. Couldn't get by Emmerling. How was your car throughout the night?
Pretty good. I don't know why I suck at timing passes this year so far. I'm faster than the guy in front of me, and I can't get by him. So, I don't know. Got to get a little bit better, but the car was good. I mean, I got no complaints really about the car. I would have liked to have seen if I got by him what the car felt like, because I spent too much time in his draft there with dirty air. But we'll see if we can do better. I can do better tomorrow night, hopefully.
Matt Hirschman, one of those guys you expect to win here at New Smyrna each and every year.
There's a look at our rundown of the unofficial results. Doug Colby, Patrick Emmerling, Matt Hirschman, Jimmy Blewett, and Anthony Osella, the top 5.
Chuck Hosfeld finishes just outside the top 5 and 6. Good rally for Timmy Salamito. Come back up to 7th. Mike Willis Jr., Jeremy Gerstner, and Jeffrey Goodell round out your top 10.
Calvin Carroll, Andy Catalano, as well as Dylan Stoyer, Ryan Priest, and Jeff Gallup rounding out the 15 at the front of the field. And we have one remaining feature left on this action-packed night at New Smyrna Speedway. It's the Super Late Models, a 35 lapper, coming your way next on